Welcome to the Tactical Data Desk. Live market insights, find key levels, gain an edge. Unlock the secrets of gamma exposure. With Tactical Data Desk, cognitio potestas est.
YouTube, good morning. This is Jason with the Tactical Data Desk. Today is Thursday, March 12th. It's about 9:06 a.m. in the morning, and I'm bringing you GEX exposure on the ES so you can plan your trading day. All right, I'm done with my morning routine. Up at 4:45, did the clang and bang with the weights, had my breakfast, had my coffee. I'm sipping on some matcha tea right now with some colostrum in it, which I think is amazing. Doesn't taste that bad. If you've ever had that, let me know in the comments, and we can chat about that. Let's look at ES. This is the 1 minute chart on ES. Look at your call wall at 68.55. I've got the HUD turned off because now I've got gamma exposure looking like volume profile on my chart, so I don't need the HUD at this point. Your biggest call wall as of close yesterday and as of open interest clearing this morning, so after everything settled yesterday, your call wall is at 68.55, 68.50 with a minor call wall at 68.40. Your put wall, 0 DTE put wall, is at 66.50, and you've got some thin exposure in between. Again, this is the 1 minute chart. What that looks like on the 5 minute chart, call wall 68.50, zero gamma is 67.79, so we are in negative gamma right now. Put wall 66.50. You remember yesterday's video about that retracement? Here's 66.50 right here. We popped down to 67.50, which is where that 0 DTE put wall. We popped down there a couple times at noon, and then again at 13 or 1:40, and then went up from there. Just like the gamma exposure, GEX exposure yesterday said we would walk down to 67.50 and then go up a little bit. Didn't know if we'd get back to the call wall. We didn't. There was a lot of selling pressure. If you were reading the options tape in the ES Delta, lots of selling pressure. And then after market close, at between the 5 and 6 break, man, futures walked down. They were down pretty significant, 67.15, 67.05. The overnight low here was 67.05. The midnight open was 67.10. Here's your volume profile, value area low, 67.29. Your point of control so far is 67.89 on ES, and your value area high is 68.46 if you want to mark those on your chart. This is the composite volume profile on the 5 minute chart for the last 2 days on ES. You can see the volume profile. I've got the opacity set to like 20% because I don't need that very bright. You can see the bulk of the volume here right around volume profile. And I'm assuming everyone knows what volume profile is and how to read it. If you don't, leave a comment in there in the comment box, and I will make a video on how to read that and what it does. Don't be embarrassed if you don't know. I had no idea what it was at one point, and I'm not telling you I'm an expert on it by any means, but it's pretty handy. Pretty handy to know. So let's look at the gamma exposure, guys. Let's look at the dashboard. Here we are on the dashboard for the gamma exposure. This is my GEX profile. The intraday GEX shift, remember, doesn't start till the market opens. I don't track that till the market opens. But here's what the gamma exposure looks like. Here's the SPX spot price. This was the close yesterday spot price, so that was 67.75. And then here we are, call wall at 66. I'm sorry, put wall 66.50, call wall 68.50, just like the HUD on NinjaTrader says. We're pretty thin below the close yesterday, and if we look at NinjaTrader again, we are at 67.40 on ES, so about right here is where we would be. SPX will open somewhere around there. I'm guessing we will probably, I don't know what we'll do. I don't even want to guess. We'll wait and see what market does first 15 minutes, first 30 minutes before we jump into any trades. And then you have some call walls here at 6,800, 3.5 million. Pretty thin after 6,800 until we get to 68.25, so that would be some resistance, 3.3 million. 68.40, 6.25 million, some pretty good resistance, and then 68.50, almost 8 million GEX exposure. That's some pretty heavy resistance. Again, this is after market close. We got to watch what happens when the market opens. So that's your GEX exposure. Let's look at, I have a new dashboard that shows some stocks, so let's look at SPY. This is as of yesterday. Call wall was at 67.7 yesterday. The put wall was at 676. Sorry, 677, 676. So SPY was trading into a very thin range. We look at QQQ, 608, 607. Yesterday it was 606, 609 when it opened, indicating a thin range. Let's look at NVIDIA, 187, 185. I'll do another review when market opens after about 15-20 minutes so you can see what these look like. Apple, 262, 260. Very thin ranges. Man, we got a lot. And then if we look at, let me find, we look at the options tape. So pre-market, we have a lot of call buying. We've got call buying at 68.10, 68.05. How many contracts? 399 contracts. SPX calls at 68.10, 168 at 6800, 102 at 6790. There's a lot of call buying. I don't see any put buying. Look at the cumulative bull volume, 47.29 against the cumulative bear volume, 13.55. I've got a filter here. I should probably move that filter down. Yeah, here we go. Move that down to 10 so you can see more. We have some put buying, 67.15 and 67.30. So 300 puts at 67.30, 315 puts at 67.15. Futures delta, ES futures delta plus 1400 so far. So the 60-second rolling ES futures delta negative, 60-second SPX options momentum right now 200, so kind of mixed. This is an AI engine I wrote that checks GEX exposure, current GEX exposure and GEX shift against the 60-second rolling ES future and the 60-second SPX options momentum. I'll make a video explaining what this AI bot says. It works during market hours, not after, so we want live trading. Essentially what we want to see is when we're at plus 50 or minus 50 is when we want to take the trades, because that's when the most movement is occurring in both the XPX options market and the ES futures market, and that's when you're going to get the most movement to make your trades. So I'll take a video of this working throughout the day, and I also have a command prompt that tells you, that reads this and tells you what to buy if you want to get into a call debit spread, put debit spread, put credit spread, etc., based on what's happening with GEX exposure in the futures tape. All right, gosh, we're going to have a great trading day today, guys. Hope you like this GEX exposure stuff. Hope you're marking your charts. Pre-market's pretty good. Hopefully it provides you a map of where we think SPX is going to go throughout the day and what the typical range bounds are going to be. If you'd like to trade credit spreads or just straight up short, long puts or long calls. I like to buy some long calls once in a while. What I'll do in E-Trade is I'll set a conditional order. Let's say we go back to the GEX exposure. Let's say we see 68.50 major call wall, and then we look at the options tape. A lot of calls being bought at 68.10. So there's room from 68.10 to 68.50. And then we look again at the GEX exposure, put wall 66.50, thin in between. So what I'll do is I'll set an order to buy a couple SPX calls at 68.10 at the market price, if and when the SPX spot price is less than or equal to 66.50. So it just sits there, and only if it hits 66.50 does it buy those long calls. That way, I don't got to manually do it. And the reason why I do market, the bid-ask spread on SPX options is not that big. If you try to buy at the midpoint trying to save 5 cents, you're going to miss it when it bounces up. If you try to buy at the ask, by the time you click send, the ask may have changed. But if you've got it market, it's going to go. You can talk slippage all you want, but sometimes those contracts, you can get them for 30 cents, 40 cents, depending on how far away from in the money you are, maybe $1. They will sometimes double in value within a minute or two. And if you're watching it, you can quickly get out. You can also do a conditional order to sell it when it's 50% profit, 20% profit. There's a whole multitude of things you can do. There's a lot of different things we can do with trading. So hey, that's your market readiness recap for GEX exposure on March 12th. Jason from the Tactical Data Desk. I'm into trading. I love the trading community. I also work a full-time job. I am not a full-time YouTube star. As you can see, I do not have amazing equipment. I do not have an amazing setup. I don't make videos to... this is not my full-time job. I just love all of you guys. And if we can make a couple extra $100 a week, a month, a day, that'd be awesome. I'd like to get to the point where I can live stream this and just have it up for you to watch it all day, and you can watch the spot price bounce around the GEX exposure, watch the GEX exposure grow so you can know what's going to happen. If you'd like that, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. That helps the YouTube algorithm put these videos out more. And there's a threshold of the number of subscribers I have to have before I can start streaming it live. And then once I do, man, I just hit go live and put the screen on there, and there you go. You can have it. All right, that's your recap for today. Happy trading, guys, and I'll talk to you later.